What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Fight Franchise and our preview and prediction for the main event of UFC London, where Leon Edwards looks to defend his place atop the welterweight rankings against short notice Sean Brady, as he was supposed to fight Jack Della Maddalena, but he was pulled from the card as he's going to be main eventing UFC 315 against Bilal Muhammad in a kind of short notice title shot where he's getting a switch of opponent, and good luck to him. I can't wait for that fight, but Jack Della Maddalena gets out of the fight. They need a replacement. Sean Brady is called in on short notice, which kind of makes for a interesting bout. I really wanted to see Jack versus Leon Edwards just for the striking battle it would have put on, that tenacious style of Jack Della Maddalena and that kind of perfect technique of Leon Edwards going up against each other, both these great strikers. What would have happened, unfortunately, hasn't come to fruition due to this. But we are getting a different fight now and a replacement within this bout. And a very interesting bout, as it could just literally, this fight could topple the welterweight rankings and change everything in a heartbeat. I'm going to kind of give you the tail of the tape breakdown of both guys and how I think this fight is going to go. So, tail of the tape. Leon Edwards, 22 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest. Sean Brady, 17 wins, 1 loss. 6'4" Leon Edwards, 5'10" for Sean Brady, so height advantage is in the favour of Leon Edwards. Reach advantage also in the favour of Leon Edwards, 74-inch reach versus 72-inch reach, and leg reach also in the favour of Leon Edwards, 43-inch reach versus 40-inch reach. So everything is in the advantage of Leon Edwards in terms of the physicality aspect, has the height advantage, has the reach advantage, but will he be able to use this to his advantage? I'm pretty certain he had the advantages against Bilal as well. Didn't have a good night in the office. But let me kind of break down both guys' career. So going to start off with we'll start off with Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, comes into the UFC and goes on one of the best win streaks in the welterweight division's history, and just puts on this sneaky good win streak where he gets these great wins, but he never looks amazing, Gets a great decision win against Gunnar Nelson, Donald Cerrone, RDA, and puts together a great win streak, but never does he put that X factor on the performance, which is crazy when you think he's actually got the fastest finish in welterweight history with an 8-second KO. Actually, that's wrong. It's Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. But before that, I'm pretty sure it was Leon Edwards. But he, which is crazy. And then he just goes on this kind of weird career trajectory of, we all know he's deserving of a title shot, but he's just not really earned it due to the X factor. And then he fights Nate Diaz, and he puts on a schooling performance against Nate Diaz. But in the third round, the fourth round, you're thinking to yourself, you've cut up Nate Diaz, you battered Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is tough as they come, but go on, put that X factor and try and finish him. Put that, put his lights out, or put him on wobbly legs, or do something. He doesn't do it. And then all of a sudden, Nate Diaz steals his shine and rocks him at the end of the 5th round. And you're like, this is Leon Edwards. This is the next contender who's going to be, Kamaru Usman. He's getting rocked by Nate Diaz. What the heck? He has the legendary fight with Kamaru Usman where they both go to war. And Kamaru is kind of, has a great performance, wins rounds 2, 3, and 4. And then, the X factor that we all say Leon Edwards never has. He finally gets it and head kicks Kamaru Usman in arguably one of the greatest moments in UFC history and one of the best KOs in UFC history. When you think of the stakes, the technique, everything, who he beat on a 15-fight win streak. And then off the back of this, you were like, okay, Leon Edwards is now champion. He's just got a head kick win. He's going to get so much better. Fights Kamaru Usman in a rematch, which was a competitive bout, and which was a Kamaru Usman who was a bit hesitant and a bit different, and Leon did have a good fight. He did get points deducted, but he gets the win in what he deserved was a great win. Then off the back of that, and this is where I thought, okay, we're going to see Leon Edwards different. He fights Colby Covington, and Colby Covington talked a lot of trash about Leon Edwards, more specifically his dead father. And he talked a lot of trash, and Leon Edwards goes out there, and Colby, don't get me wrong, was shit. He put on a terrible performance where he didn't put the pace on. He didn't take the fight to Leon Edwards. But Leon Edwards went into this fight with a lot of anger and a lot of, hate in his heart towards Colby Covington. Never once did he pull the trigger and try and take his head off, which he deserved going into that fight after talking that trash about his dad. And he just fought very measured. which he did say in the post-fight speech, I couldn't lose my composure, I couldn't lose my cool, because if I did, I would be susceptible to, getting caught by something. But you're fighting Colby Covington, the likelihood he's knocking you out with a punch isn't that likely. And what's he going to do? Take you down. You've got great takedown defense. Believe in yourself, and you'll be able to get back up in no time versus someone like Colby. But he didn't do it, and he put on quite a lackluster performance. And then off the back of this, he fights Bilal Muhammad. And just to note, he fought Bilal Muhammad before this in a no contest, where he actually looked like he was at his best, where he was going out there against Bilal Muhammad, pushing forward, throwing head kicks, rocking Bilal Muhammad, and just letting his striking go. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is the Leon Edwards we all know. This is the Leon Edwards we want to see. The technique's there, the striking potential's there, everything's there. Just that X factor, putting your foot on the gas, is never there with Leon Edwards. He's so pedestrian in fights. It's so annoying. It reminds me of Chito Vera. Chito Vera, when he fights, he's so pedestrian. When you watch that Sean O'Malley fight, he's just there like waiting to throw the perfect strike or the perfect punch. Sometimes you can't wait to be perfect. Sometimes you just need to go out there and throw and see what happens and get that win. So he's a very frustrating fighter, Leon Edwards is to be a fan of. And then going against Bilal Muhammad, I know the fight was at 6 a.m. I know you had to wake up late and it ruined your sleep schedule. But you barely threw a punch, and Bilal Muhammad is out striking and rocking you. And fair play, Bilal Muhammad is mixing up and the wrestling and the striking and getting the takedowns and whatnot. And he fought a brilliant game. And you know what? Credit to Bilal Muhammad. I think a lot of us, overlooked how good he was because of the meme and never getting a finish and whatnot. But he's a very good fighter, and he mixed up the game very well and showed if you do X, Y, Z, you can expose Leon Edwards. Which is where we're at today. Sean Brady, on the other hand, when he joined the UFC, I was like, this guy's going to be welterweight champion in no time. He joins the UFC undefeated and goes on quite a sneaky good run where he's beating some guys by submission, Jake Matthews, Christian Aguilera, beats Michael Chiesa and gets some good wins. And then he comes up against Bilal Muhammad, which a lot of people thought, I think going into the fight, Sean Brady was favourite. Undefeated, Bilal Muhammad's overrated and a lot of people don't believe in, Bilal Muhammad, And then all of a sudden, oh my God, my camera needs to focus. There we go. Then they square off and Bilal Muhammad and Sean Brady, and everyone's thinking, this is Sean Brady going to win, go up there to get a title shot. And Bilal Muhammad puts on a brilliant performance and, finishes Sean Brady on the feet and showed when it was grappler versus grappler, it's not going to be a grappling match. And then the striking, he took it to Sean Brady, rocked him and got the standing TKO. So, and I think in hindsight, that loss at the time looked very bad for Sean Brady. In hindsight, Bilal is the best welterweight in the world at the time, so it's not as bad as it looks, on paper, and it looked at the time. Since his loss to Sean Brady, he regrouped, took some time off, beat Kelvin Gastelum at welterweight, where he submitted him, and then had a great performance versus Gilbert Burns, putting Gilbert Burns in trouble in the striking at moments and out-grappling Gilbert Burns in moments. So, yeah, Sean Brady is on a good momentum streak and in a good position, and stylistically has a very similar style to Bilal Muhammad, which is why going into this fight, he is the favourite. But do I think he's going to win this fight? If I'm being honest, yes, I think Sean Brady's actually going to win this fight. And it's not because I don't think Leon can't win. Just, is he at this time of his career willing to put the graft in and go out there and go, okay, I need to get the win. Let me put my foot on the gas and take out this guy. When you look at all these other guys in the division, Leon Edwards, credit to him. I'm happy for him. He's probably made a crap ton of money recently. Not crazy, stupid money that he's like, everyone's set off, but he's probably a millionaire now and a good millionaire. And in England, where he's probably not going to live the most lavish lifestyle, his family's going to be set. He's invested the money well. He'll be okay. Does he really have the motivation to put his foot on the gas, put his fist through Sean Brady's face, take him out and become a champion once again? I don't know. Whereas guys like Shafkat, Jack Della Maddalena, Sean Brady, who still need to go out there, get that crap ton of money, change their life, become champion, they're going to be more hungry than you. And I feel like that's going to be the aspect going into this fight. Sean Brady's going to go out there, mix up the wrestling, mix up the grappling, mix up the striking. And the way I remember he had Kelvin Gastelum's back and he was getting him for a submission. I'm pretty sure Bilal Muhammad at one point had Leon Edwards is back for ages, so I think that's going to be a position where Sean Brady's going to get that back of Leon Edwards, and he's going to look for chokes. And the other thing about Sean Brady is he loves looking for submissions. He doesn't just grapple to like sit on you or lay on you. He does look for the finish, and he does look to get like a choke, a Kimura, a guillotine. So he's going to threaten with a submission. I don't think he'll get the submission win. I think Leon Edwards has a great dexterity, and he's got great grappling and submission defense, and he's very sound on the mat. I just think when it comes to the bout, I just think he's going to overwhelm Leon Edwards like Bilal Muhammad did. I think Leon Edwards, you know, the way he fights, he's going to be very laboured. You know, he's going to feint with the striking, and but the level change is going to be there, and that level change is going to be a threat that, you know, will be too much for Leon to get his game going. I think the only way Leon Edwards wins this fight, because most likely, if we're being honest, if we look at both guys' track record, it's going to go to a decision. Whose favour will the decision go into? The guy who implements his game plan the best, which is going to be Sean Brady. Why? Because Leon Edwards is too slow of a starter. And the other thing is, if you are a slow starter, you're going to give up too many early rounds. By the time the third round started, you're already 2 rounds down. You need to win the next 3. What's the likelihood of Leon Edwards going out there and winning all the 3 rounds? Not very likely, especially if he's been ragdolled and Sean Brady's got the better of him in all aspects of the fight. You know, the other thing is, Leon Edwards, his body language and his posture is so poor. If he loses a round or loses a couple of rounds, he's there like looking down and he's all depressed and stuff. Guys like Sean Brady, who's hungry, or guys like Bilal, they'll never have that attitude. They'll be like, okay, I'm losing a round, let me get back into it and let me take the urgency. Jack Della Maddalena will be like, Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Burns was getting schooled. He never gave up. Going into that final minute of the fight, lands that huge knee, gets the KO, and he's like, yeah, I'm the man. Even though he was going down, because he showed that urgency. Leon Edwards doesn't have that urgency, which is why he's going to lose that fight, unfortunately. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. My prediction is a Sean Brady decision. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think Leon Edwards can come back in his career? Or is it just too late? Is he just kind of at the tail end of his career now, where he's just going to kind of be a middling welterweight fighter putting on fun fights? Or will he go back, get that win, show the urgency he needs, and put on a clinic, which he needs to do against someone like Sean Brady, and get the decision win or get the KO win? I just don't think he can do it. I just don't think he's got the urgency. Whereas someone like Sean Brady, he will go out there, shoot for a takedown straight away and put Leon Edwards on the back foot. And Leon Edwards on the back foot, Bilal Muhammad has shown, is not a good fighter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Put your predictions down in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoy the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.